might sound like a broken record by the time this night is done, because I don't think there's many, if any, of the 9 matches on this card that I can't say this for. But I am excited for this one here, Josh. It has been a minute since we have seen Eli Surge step between the ropes and climb into an NEW ring. He's been on missionary tours, I hear, spreading the gospel all over the territories about the fact that, of course, birds are not real.
Birds aren't real. It's an interesting cause to dedicate your life to, but listen, if you are able to dedicate to something, you could dedicate to anything. And don't you think for a second Eli Surge is not dedicated to being in the squared circle?
Well, he's been known a few times over the years as well to tag with his best friend Bigfoot. But when he's not partnering with Bigfoot in the ring, he's looking for him in the mountains, because you know what? You go out on the town after a night in the ring, sometimes you have a few too many, you lose track of what became of your best bud that evening. And you know Bigfoot is a hard man to find at the best of times.
An unbelievable slingshot spear into a close 2 count kicks us off here. No Bigfoot to be found, but a close ending to this match in the first minute. And that to say nothing of Nick Pesky, because Justin, you know this is true. Sometimes the toughest guy wins the fight, and Nick Pesky is as tough as they come.
And we just saw it right there, as Eli Surge was looking for a tope suicida to the outside, but instead ate an elbow to the face from the Beer League beauty, Nick Pesky, making his singles debut in NEW after having a fine showing in the Cinco de Mayo multi-promotion Rumble. He didn't make a huge impression on the Vancouver fans that night, of course, as he's rocking the Boston Bruins colors.
Yeah, not the most popular choice in this city.
But he is one tough customer, and he's finding out right now that so is Eli Surge.
Yeah, again, Surge is dedicated to his craft, and obsessives about anything can learn that. I don't know if you know somebody like this in your life, Justin, but they get stuck on something, and Eli Surge has that for the birds aren't real movement, but obviously also for catch as catch can. Look at this lock he has Nick Pesky in right now.
And you know Pesky's been in situations where he's hurting on the bench after a long shift. But
that baby
pales in comparison to what he's being put through right now.
Forced to eat his own helmet.
Face washing the hockey player into that bottom turnbuckle. An unconventional offense, to say the least, from Eli Surge, but it nearly got the job done just the same.
Well, that's the thing about unorthodox offense, Justin. It's not what these guys are training for. It's not how they're looking to defend. He might be seeing that move for the first time, but a great recovery from Nick Pesky as he kicked to the gut, might get him back on track here.
And the Beer League beauty perhaps might be focusing a little bit too much on his ice time lately and not his ring time.
He might have heard you there as a lariat to the back sends Surge soaring down to the mat, and Pesky is back in control of this match. He takes full mount, throwing, knuckles to the face, Justin. There are people who quit in this position.
He has been known in the past as well to line his fists with tinfoil, but of course, not concealing those under any tape this evening, and he doesn't need it with the heaviness of those strikes. 2 huge uppercuts in Eli Surge. I don't know if he knows where he is right now. He is staring up at the lights, but was thankfully able to close, or open his eyes rather, before the count of 3.
Enough wherewithal for the 2 kick out, but how long is that going to last if this offense keeps up? And a headbutt continues, although Pesky might have gotten a little terribleness on his own there. But he goes back for it again. He doesn't mind. Give one to take one.
We talked moments ago about Eli Surge staring up at the lights and perhaps being a little bit dazed and confused. That was true again, but he was still able to get the shoulder up once more.
This front headlock position, setting up for a suplex. Can Pesky get it? Surge on his feet and goes for the roll-up. This is what he needed.
And he may not look like the biggest dog in the fight, Nick Pesky that is, but there is a lot of fight in that dog. He has been known to leave those suplexes hanging in the air for as long as possible and let the blood rush down into his opponent's heads to make them a little bit worse for wear after the fact. And as you see, Eli Surge looking for some cranial protection. His tinfoil hat just kicked out of the ring by the Beer League beauty.
And here's Pesky proving that he didn't get given that nickname. He earned it. Oh, but here's Eli Surge. Still fight left in him. The forearm back, and we're trading them. This is a tough man's game. Both guys are choosing to play here. Who will come out on top?
Every time they are pushed backwards, you can see the look in the faces of both men. Do they have more in them? And so far, the answer appears to be yes!
Dogged determination from both guys. Endless fighting spirit. Here we go.
This is turning into a hockey fight, and you have to figure that favors Nick Pesky.
Both men giving their all for this audience and for themselves in this fight. This is going to become a battle of wills, I think. Who has something left in the tank to take out the other man? And that's assuming either can answer the 10 count here.
Absolutely. I don't know that either man is aware of the situation they find themselves in at the moment. They better hurry up and get their wits about them because they're running out of time to make this match continue.
And both make it out of the ring at the exact same time.
That is one way to interrupt the count and get another one started.
The ref's count renews. Will 19 be enough for these two combatants?
What do you think is more important to a guy like Nick Pesky? His Meltzer stars after a match, or how it's rated on hockeyfights.com?
I'm going to have to say the latter, that ending up on any sort of fight DVD compilation, it might be the end-term goal for the Beer League Beauty.
Both men back in the ring now, and the count starts again.
A busy night. The referee earning every dollar in the squared circle this evening.
And Mark Gager just decided he would rather count a pin than let this continue on like this. He'll go the other way this time. Mark Gager had enough of this.
Enough to kick out, but not enough to pin. These two are on tank empty, and I'm not so sure exactly how Nick Pesky's going to respond to this ref involvement.
And the official may have made a big mistake because he's just given these men a common enemy. Pesky looking for a roll-up on Mark Gager.
And Surge joins them!
But the official gets the shoulder up at 2 as well.
The enemy of the enemy is my friend. And they're back, these two, putting on an all-time war for us here. As they collapse again.
2 stiff forearms to the face simultaneously. 2 big falls down to the mat.
But Surge with a kip up!
What a kip up at that!
I thought they were going to take every ounce to get their win back, Justin. Some would say that'd be the thing to do, but Eli Surge is ready to go, brought to his feet with an electricity that only a Saturday night can bring.
Perhaps he was lying in wait.
Playing a little possum, you think?
Pesky trying for a kip up of his own now, too. He's tried twice. Hasn't gotten it to work for him. 3rd time's the charm, perhaps, as he's enlisting a little bit of assistance. There we go.
And Surge gives him a helping hand as our combatants return to the feet, but no!
A great display of sportsmanship, but only momentarily.
Oh, but a running lariat to answer, and a spinning back elbow.
You can never trust a 4th line goon like Pesky for too long. Surge with a running splash into the corner.
Looking for the top, looking to take to the skies.
Birds may not be real, but this man's aerial offense certainly is. Eli Surge crossbody splash. Pesky able to get out of the way.
Nobody's home. Pesky looks pretty happy with himself in the corner as a drop kick.
Shotgun drop kick, the power of Pesky. I feel like if those turnbuckles weren't there, Josh, that Eli Surge may have just flown another 10 feet or so as Pesky looks to put it away. But the shoulder up from Eli Surge.
We'll have to ask him if after that sit-out powerbomb, if he believes in anything that flies, because he was way up there. Say what you want about Nick Pesky. He's been exhausted at points in this match, but he looks fresh as a daisy there now. He's ready to fight.
He's petitioning the referee in typical beer league behavior.
Helmet, is this allowed? Oh no.
Could be fixing to run this into the midsection of Eli Surge, but of course, we know Surge famously has a little headwear of his own. As Pesky's getting set to put the helmet on, but Surge with the intercept!
1 step ahead is Eli Surge.
Come in peace, the throat jab. into the neck of Nick Pesky.
One more chance from the top.
Eli Surge, if he hits this moonsault, no one has ever kicked out. And we'll see if that remains the case right here. He gets the 3 count. Eli Surge with a huge win.
Big win.
In his return to NEW.
What a battle these two put on, Justin.
And while you may question his tactics ultimately, it is hard not to be impressed by what we saw from the Beer League beauty Nick Pesky in this match as well.
Absolutely.
Nothing conspiratorial about it on this night, however. Eli Surge, unquestionably the better man.
But I think there probably was some respect earned on both ends tonight. You can't go through a blood and guts brawl like that without coming out feeling at least a little differently about your opponent.
Eli sporting the helmet right now. In fact, speaking of a show of mutual respect,
Pesky wants no part of it.
Pesky, a poor sport right to the bitter end.